First and foremost, we'd like to give a huge shout out to the guys at Ridge Gaming for hooking us up with these sweet hats. They have awesome characters that you can get on the front. And if you guys want some or other awesome merchandise, go check out the link below.
You guys also, if you are a lover of all things spooky, this is a must-have hat, dude.
Definitely.
For sure. So don't miss out. They're super unique. They're really cool. The characters they have are cool. They're randomly selected. You don't want to miss out on them.
Buy one today. I love money.
Oh, I forgot we're filming right now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so reel it back in, guys.
And if you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe buttons along with the fucking...
If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you get notifications.
Feel free to comment.
And without any further ado, please enjoy the show.
So this week, we watched Talk to Me.
And it was fucking great.
It was an awesome movie. I always get really skeptical about A24 movies. Like,
Why? They do really good stuff.
sometimes they do, and then
They
sometimes
do, but sometimes they're also like, not that they're bad, but A24, it's like you go in kind of are expecting on what's going to happen. It's always like predictable.
the only one, like, I don't want to get too much off subject, but like The Green Knight. I don't know if you guys ever saw The Green Knight.
haven't seen that.
There's like a scene where like he like jerks off on a belt, and I'm like, what the like, no joke.
That jumped to 100
Like,
real
I don't.
quick.
I was really weirded out, but like,
There was none of that in
You're
this
not
movie.
into that?
no, but no, like, but this one movie was really solid and it was great. Like, relatively unknown cast. The only person that I really recognized in the movie was the mom, who was the lady from Lord of the Rings.
I was going to say John Lovitz.
It was John Lovitz.
The hour's gone,
I
guys.
know.
Oh, no.
No, it was probably like, I think, the best horror movie of the year.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
I
better
like
than
the
the Pope's
original.
Exorcist.
Well, it did take a very similar turn that a lot of movies make. There's a haunted object, people mess around with it, bad things happen, but this was so unique, and that's what I loved about it.
The noise, dude, like, is great. They're like loud, punchy noises, like in the beginning, where they have that pillow fight, and she gets hit by the pillow, and the noise that sets the tone for me. It's like, oh, this is the type of noises we're gonna have, loud and punchy noises. It's gonna be eerie the whole movie, and it absolutely was.
What'd you guys think of the actors in it?
I thought it was really well done. What did they say? Australia, right?
Yeah.
Great cast.
The main girl was so good. And like to the point where her character, I don't know if I hate her or love her. She was very manipulative, but at the same time, the whole movie's based on trauma and carrying that trauma with you and then how it affects you later on. We even all discussed that the movie has a underlying tone of drug use behind it as well. When she got possessed, dude.
Oh yes,
That was scary. And all of a sudden that ghost popped up out of nowhere as soon as she shakes the hand. That's another thing I liked is as soon as she went to go shake the hand and say, talk to me, the ghost appeared, and you see it in, like, through her eyes.
And the makeup on those like demons or whatnot was great. They were creepy looking.
The ghost that you're seeing when you're shaking
Oh
the hand.
yeah.
Absolutely, so creepy.
There was a lot of creepy stuff in the movie, like the kinky ghost or whatever that was just wanting to like kiss and suck on everything.
I had to turn away for that
Made
part.
out.
Oh, that was,
That was too much
gnarly!
for me.
Like making out with the dog and everything, and the dog's just like.
That was gnarly.
I didn't like that.
That was crazy. They went for it for this movie. That's for sure.
What'd you guys think of that scene, the gory scene with the little brother?
He was just banging his
Which
head.
one?
Yeah.
Oh, I
the one
loved
where he's
it.
ripping his eyeball out of it.
Oh,
So
the
into
eyeball.
it.
I honestly, I felt like that one was pretty gnarly, but I thought about the scene when he's in the bathtub or the shower.
Oh, and the blood?
he was like slamming his head up against that tile, and you could see that tile breaking away with every hit.
Do you guys actually think that the kid was possessed? Because I couldn't tell if the ghosts were lying or manipulating.
I think the ghost was still in there because we see that at the end of the movie he does make a recovery.
Yeah, and that's what I can't figure out is he really, when the little girl is showing that he's trapped in that place, you know? Is he really trapped in that place, or is it just the ghosts are manipulating the girl? That's actually another cool thing about this movie is there's so many different interpretations of it. You don't know which one it is, and it's kind of up for you guys to discuss outside of the movie. That's what makes a great movie is the discussion afterwards. What about the ending scene?
Which one?
Do you think that she was pushed or jumped in front of the car.
I think she jumped. I just think she jumped because she didn't want to kill that little kid, that little boy.
That was her way out?
It was rather her than him. I don't think she could actually do it.
I think she ended herself too, honestly. It would make more sense that she ended herself because like she realized that she was being manipulated.
I was reading a thing and it was on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. I don't remember which website it was on. People were discussing that ending scene and someone had pointed out that the mother, when she's standing next to her and she's like, do it, you know, and then she whispers, then we can have you forever. That someone pointed out that that's when the main character realized she was being manipulated, and instead of throwing the boy, she ended her own life.
I could also see that.
I could see that. That whole scene was gnarly, by the way, especially with the POV from the car.
That was intense. Yeah. I was not expecting that.
What do you think about like the very, very end? Was it a post credits or was it actually the very end? I can't remember.
Which part?
When they go to a party, it's like a party in another country and we see the hand again.
That wasn't the post credits. That was the very end of the movie.
That was the very end.
Yeah.
So obviously they said
they were in Greece, by the way.
The director said that they're open to making sequels and stuff like that.
I hope they do. The director said that they have like a whole like Bible essentially about this hand and where it came from, and they have so much more they want to share. So I am very interested. Can we please get another sequel or another movie?
I would love it, and I would love like the subtitle for the anthology to be called like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Hand, just to be funny.
The box set.
Yeah,
also,
the box
I love
set.
that they were YouTubers and they made like almost. I've never seen anything like that.
That's a very
original film to me. It was made by YouTubers from Australia. That's dope.
That's how you do it.
Movie. You guys did a great job.
Yeah, you come out the gate strong.
Do you guys have anything else to discuss? Or are you guys ready to jump in the rating?
I have a couple of things.
Okay.
But the main one was the mother.
The mother.
Do you guys... I don't know if that was really the mother
Just
or
to clarify, which mother? Are we talking about the dead mother or the mother?
So the dead mother.
Dead mom!
I don't know if that was really the mother or if that was a evil spirit taking her form.
I think it was the evil spirit because like we've talked before, when she first saw that like ghost or whatever, they were dripping wet. And when the mom ever appears, you hear little like drip noises, as in like you could tell it's like the water. So
that's why I need to watch it again.
So to me, it's like, I think it's that evil ghost. I don't think it's really her mom. Because why would they put the water in there? And it's like the water matched that ghost. He was dripping wet.
Have the directors talked about that at all in an interview?
I didn't look it up.
I didn't.
I haven't seen anything just yet, but I'm not too sure. I took like a lot of psychology classes and stuff like that in school, so I always think like mental illness does play a lot into like evil spirits and things like that. I know that's not part of psychology.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but in the Pope's Exorcist, they said that trauma is the gateway to the demons.
True.
So, and they were asking like, has the boy been through anything? And she's like, yeah, his dad died a year ago. So that was what they were contributing that to, was his trauma allowed the demon to come in. So probably was the same thing. And remember when the girl first, they were trying to get to the little boy, because when she first got possessed at the party, the demon was like, I want you. And like, he wants you or something. And from there, the theory is that the ghosts were conspiring to try and figure out how can we get to him. So they knew the mother was the way to like keep him possessed longer, because it would get the girl to talk to the mother. And then it would allow the boy to be the stronger gateway for them to possess his body.
Obviously, we know we kind of touched on it, but we can go on to it more about the underlining tone of drug addiction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And so on and so forth. Especially with like seance party games and things like that for this. Would you guys play this game?
No. Well, I guess if I was a teenager, I would actually.
You would let a spirit take over you?
If I was a teen, yeah, because when you're like that young and everybody's doing it, it's like fun.
They make it look like fun. 19-year-old Tara would have played the game.
I would have played as well.
Tara now, not so much.
Absolutely not.
No, you got stuff to live for now, man. Mm-hmm. But just you don't have that cause and effect part of your brain that's working yet at that age. So you don't realize, hey, if I do this, bad things will. I mean, you might know it could happen, but you aren't thinking that far ahead of time. You're just thinking instant gratification. So, like you said, everyone's playing it. They're having fun. It's a straight up party drug, dude.
Yeah.
Like you get a high off of it. And that's what those kids, they were looking like they were actually like
They
feeling some
strapped
euphoria.
them down.
Yeah.
So they were like locked in.
And afterwards they come back and they're like, that was amazing.
They all start laughing. That one scene too where they're all doing it and laughing. I was like,
That was
this
fun.
is like drugs, dude. It was like fun. That part was fun.
That was a fun
I liked it.
fun part of the movie. I enjoyed it. Good job, guys.
Good job. I don't think I would let the spirit in me myself.
All right.
Would you want to? That was the other thing is you have to say I let you in. Would you want to sit down and like at least like look, be curious?
I would look. I would look, and I would want to talk all day.
What's up?
I would not let the spirit in, but if I could just like not let the spirit in, because the timer never started until they let the spirit in. So I'm wondering if I like held on to the hand, would I be able to have conversations with the spirit? Or would the spirit just be like, fuck off, no, let me in, or we ain't talking? But I would want to have a conversation. I would want to be like, how'd you die? What happened? Do you have any secret treasure?
It did seem like all the ghosts were very silent. Did you guys notice that? Like even when the main girl, I can't remember her name.
I can't either.
Whoops.
Dang it. I can't remember any of the names.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks since we saw it. But when she came back and shook the guy, or was the ghost on the other side, she didn't say anything either. She was just looking at all of them. So I wonder if they're just in such a state of shock. Is this like they only get one time before it goes into the roster of ghosts? Or
Okay, that makes sense.
I know that they have this all written down. There has to be a rule. There has to be a way. Like I'm
There's
so
gotta be.
excited to find out the rest of it.
I kind of wanted to see more of the writing. I wish we had a better like close up of the writing on the hand, because I wonder if there's rules on the hand secretly written down.
So they did say that they have
Their
so
names,
many
right?
like. Oh, I didn't know about
They
the
were
names.
like autographs from like kids that have played it beforehand.
Oh, they were just autographs.
Oh, I thought it was like because the directors were saying in an interview that there's like little hidden things on the hand that they will talk about later on when they do another movie.
Maybe
so
they'll bring up those kids.
maybe maybe they're gonna go back and have to go meet all the different kids that had held on to the hand. How they had to track down the one brother.
Yes.
So out of
Yeah.
curiosity, would you guys bone it?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It was a
would
great
bone.
movie.
How many bones would you give it?
I'm giving it 9 bones.
I'm nining it also.
I was
Yeah.
I was initially at 8, but I think I will give it a 9.
Absolutely.
That
It
was
has
a great movie.
That movie, like I know it's one of those things that like some horror movies don't have a high rewatch value on it. Usually it's a one and done. Like, oh, that was such a great movie. Would you rewatch it again?
No.
I would. This
Yeah.
one I would rewatch.
I would watch this
I would
all the
rewatch this
time.
one a couple times.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be a good one to rewatch and see if we can find all the little Easter eggs and
We
stuff.
totally should.
I would rewatch this, and I would definitely rewatch it before a sequel.
Yep.
But this is one of those ones, like, especially for horror movies, I would be one that I buy on 4K. Like,
Yeah.
that's just to have in my collection.
So on average, our bones we have 9 bones rated. So good job, guys.
9. Good job.
Lovely film.
We just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Brian over at FabledArtificer for hooking us up with these sweet ass cups. He has tons of great products, much like this and many others over on his site. Please check out the links above or below or wherever it may be.
These are handmade cups, and these are super nice. Like
Quality,
we've been
y'all.
enjoying drinking out of these. So thank you very much.
Thank
you, Brian. On the subject of talk to me and stuff like that, we seances and party games of the genre.
Yes.
Did you guys play anything like that when you guys were kids?
Bloody Mary. That was the main one we played at sleepovers, Girl Scout sleepovers, you know. But we never played anything other than that, really, other than the mirror games. What about you guys?
Really quick before we talk, what is the origin of Bloody Mary? Because there's so many things like, oh, she's coming like to kill you. She's coming to take your baby. She's coming to do this.
Coming to scratch your eyes
Yeah,
and all
it's
that
like-
stuff?
What is the thing? What is the real?
I don't think there is. I'm sure there's one set origin, but even like every single time it's depicted on a TV show or a movie, they change it slightly. People like little girls change it at parties, you know, like, oh, it was this thing. There's no way to know the exact story behind it.
I was just curious if anybody knew.
It's a very interesting, like, I'm pissed off because of this. And so every time my name is said, I'm going to come back in a
coming for
mirror.
you.
Yeah. Is Matt looking it up right now?
For some reason, I got an origin of the Bloody Mary drink
Anthony,
when I typed it in.
Can you look up the origin of Bloody Mary for us, please?
Sure can.
Thank
Thank you, God.
No problem, son.
My child.
All right. While he's doing that, did you ever play anything like that?
I mean, I played the Ouija board.
Oh, you've got a good Ouija board story, don't you?
I got a couple. The first time I played it, I was 15. It was me and my sister. And nothing happened when we played it, so we just put it away. But when we did go to the bathroom, this could be coincidence, by the way, but at 15 it wasn't. My light burnt out, but it made like a pop noise and we were both in there. And then we got scared about that. So I was like, oh shit, it's because we played the Ouija board.
It's awfully coincidental. You know
I
what
know.
I mean?
That's why I was like,
How long were you guys playing it for? Do you remember like what you were
like,
asking it?
Maybe like an hour, and we played it
That's
with
a
like,
long
my
ass
brothers.
time.
We played with my brothers. We played with a big group of people. So it could have been coincidence.
Yeah.
I
The
don't
more
know.
people, the more gateways you're opening up at that point.
Exactly. The second time I played it, me and my sister, we were about like 19. I got really into it. We wanted to like, you know, we were like, let's look into witchcraft. Let's learn how to do this and that. We played it. And then when you play it, I guess you're supposed to put like a circle of salt around you. So we did do that. We did the salt.
I didn't know
Oh,
that
you
had
really
a
supposed to have
part.
salt
Candles.
around you?
I've
with the
never
Ouija
heard
board?
that before.
We did a bowl of water, a bowl of metal water. We did the circle around
What does
us
the
with
water
salt.
do?
I don't actually remember.
I know the salt keeps the spirits out, right?
Yes, and it was salt.
I learned that from
and
Hocus Pocus.
Black candles. I don't know why we got black candles. I think it's just black, but we
it
needed
just looks
candles.
cool.
And then nothing happened during that either, right? But when I went to sleep, I had an apartment, and right across I had like a spare room. So my sister was staying in the spare room. I was going to bed, and I texted her because I was laying there and it was quiet in my house, and I heard somebody singing, and I thought it was her, which is not uncommon because we both like sing out loud, so it wasn't a big deal.
So it didn't really freak you out at first.
No, but
Okay.
I texted her and I was like, hey, are you singing in there? And she texted me back immediately. And she was like, no, dog, I thought you were singing. So we both got super scared. She comes into my room and she goes, I need to sleep on the floor. I said, yeah, girl, I don't want to be by myself either.
Forget the floor, get in my
My
bed.
boyfriend was also at the time was sleeping, and I was like, I don't even care. Get it? We weren't even supposed to play it.
Yeah.
He was like, don't be doing that in the house. I said, well, you go to bed early, so we're doing it.
So did you guys ever find out?
After this, dude,
Yeah.
it scared us so bad that the next day we took that Ouija board to my friend AJ, like his apartment and his friends. I was like, you guys can have this because we were scared. We got rid of all our books and we never touched it again, and we never even looked into anything like that again because it did freak us out. We
Yeah.
were scared. I was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh,
But I
God.
can't explain that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, how would it be she heard it and I heard it? You know what I mean?
Awfully coincidental. That's all I'm saying.
Sissy, if you remember any details, if you're watching this, put some
Just call her.
Comment.
I wish we could call her really quick.
I wish that's 2. She got 4 kids, dude. I'm pissed
Oh,
off.
yeah. No,
It's all late. She's like, what do you want?
what about you, Matt? What kind of games did you play?
I was a loser. I didn't play a lot.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
I'm just kidding. So
love
the only thing we really did, or I really did, was it was like the year that The Craft came out, the movie The Craft.
Yeah.
I love that.
And like me and my stepbrothers and stepsisters all play light as a feather, stiff as a board. And like we literally got my stepsister up like maybe like 5 inches or something like that. And I remember she squirmed and we dropped her.
Oh, shit. Is she okay?
I don't know.
Just a little brain damage. That's
Real
all.
quick before, just so for people that don't know what that game is, can you describe how to play
So
that game?
there's actually a scientific, like, I don't know why I'm jumping around on it, but so the purpose of the game is like everybody like surrounds a person and everybody chants light as a feather, stiff as a board, but they shove.
Whoa.
Ah, nasty, yuck!
We do not shove.
We do not shove without consent.
My drink tastes so good in my hand-carved cup.
Pew, pew, pew. Good job, Matt.
You put 2 fingers under the person and you guys chant light as a feather, stiff as a board, and you guys all lightly like lift the person up, supposedly no matter the weight, but it did actually work kind of.
Did it freak you out?
Huh?
Did it freak you out?
No, but I was kind of like laughing, and then like my sister like laughed and giggled, and then we dropped her because like she wasn't being stiff anymore.
So what happened when they did lift you up?
So they lifted me up, and I started getting like really ticklish, and like I was trying to stay still, and I kind of broke wind.
Did you just soil yourself? Maybe.
Light as a stiffer. Nope. I was trying to say light as a feather, stiff as a board, and then make this sound, and it just.
Oh
That's
my!
gonna be in our store, guys. We're gonna have a shirt that says that.
Did you guys want that? This
Bloody Mary.
backstory?
Yes.
Yeah, let me hear it. Let us hear it.
The Smitho. I can't say it.
Smithsonian.
Smith.
Yep.
God damn it!
Got it.
Words are hard.
Words.
Oh, words.
She was the first woman to rule England in her own right didn't simply inherit the throne. She seized it, an unprecedented ambition for those who sought to thwart her.
Does it say like how she created the "I'm going to come back in the mirror" situation?
This one kind of dives deep in like the origin story. It's like from 1516, and then on Wikipedia, it says more of like what you guys are talking about. Allegedly appears to individuals or groups who ritualistically invoke her name in the act of catotremancy. Man, I'm horrible at reading. This is done by repeatedly chanting her name into a mirror placed in dimly lit or candlelit room. The name must be uttered 13 times or some other specified number of times. Bloody Mary apparition allegedly appears as a corpse, witch, or ghost that can be friendly or evil, or sometimes seen covered in blood, hence the name. The lore surrounding the ritual states that the participants may endure the apparition screaming at them, cursing them, strangling them, stealing their soul, drinking their blood, or scratching their eyes out. Some variations of the ritual called Bloody Mary by a different name, Hell Mary and Mary Worth, are popular examples.
But I want to know why she chose a mirror and why was she so angry that she? Because remember we were talking about before, and it was like it was
what
such
are you so
a
mad at?
dramatic jump to it.
Yes,
maybe that's it. She was just a showman,
A showman.
You got to go out with a bang.
A good showman.
This is the greatest
Yeah,
show.
it doesn't reference anything to why it's specific to that.
That's frustrating, but I mean, hey, it's the tale as old as time, I guess. People love playing it. It's good when you're a little kid.
I agree. Isn't it like Candyman too? You have to be in the bathroom looking in the mirror.
Yep.
All these mirror
Candyman,
names,
Blue Baby. There's another one, I think, but
Blue Baby.
You never heard of Blue Baby?
No.
Baby Blue.
It's
Blue
apparently
Baby.
like I think it's like Bloody Mary's baby or something.
I think so as
Wasn't
well.
that it? Like her kid died, and so she vowed to come back in the mirror forever, like
he
just
just-
for her baby.
He just told the story.
And the blue baby.
It wasn't the exact same. Like
And the
this-
blue
Oh.
baby though, isn't it like you're supposed
Were
to
you listening
chant
to that
the
at
blue
all?
baby?
Maybe.
No, you weren't. No, you freaking weren't.
What are you doing over there? Playing Tetris?
No, I was reading about the Midnight Man.
Okay.
Okay, no, blue baby is when you like repeat it like so many times, and then it's like you're supposed to feel like the
I haven't
little
heard of it like
baby
that.
appear in your arms.
I've never heard that.
Oh, that's what I heard.
Ours was like just basically say it the same way you would Bloody Mary, except you see the baby in the mirror,
Oh no,
and that was it.
The one I watched, it was like you're supposed to actually like feel. Not see it, but you like, feel like a weight in your
I don't
arms,
like
you're
that.
carrying
This
a baby.
thing on Wikipedia says that there's a greeting card from the 20th century depicts a divination ritual in which a woman stares into a mirror in a darkened room to catch a glimpse of the face of her future husband. The shadow of the witch is cast onto the wall at the left.
Okay.
That's a little cool, a little creepy. I don't know, dude. Mirrors are just freaky.
I agree.
I don't like mirrors. I don't like them at all.
I don't want to chant anything in the mirror.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
No. Hard pass.
So mirror games. That was always the one. We actually, when I remember being at a sleepover, and I remember very specifically, the parents couldn't have done this, and it just the layout of the house. It wouldn't have been possible. We all went in the bathroom. It was a group of like 4 of us, I think. There was like however many in total, but we went in the bathroom. We went to go do it. And outside of her bathroom window, there was some big birds of paradise plants or something like that. And we did the Bloody Mary in the mirrors. It was the first time we all officially did it, because we always wanted to and we got too scared, so we freaked out. So we officially did it, and all of a sudden, as soon as we finished the last one, the plants on the outside started like rapidly vibrating, and we ran out screaming. The parents immediately came out of their bedroom like, "What the hell are you guys screaming about?" And we were like, "Oh, the plants and the Bloody Mary, the plants,
The plants.
Yeah. The plane, boss, the plane. The other girls, we ran out of there so fast that we would have had to have taken note that someone was missing, and no one was missing. So I don't know. Since then, I've been too freaked out. I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to complete it. Not going to happen. But that was the mirror game, or the games we always played.
How old were you when you played that game, by the way?
I was probably like 8 or 9, I want to say.
Damn.
I would say it was 8. 8 sounds about right. But yeah, there's a ton of other games I didn't even know existed.
There's like a ton.
Yeah. What were some of the ones that you guys looked up?
I was looking about this one called the Midnight Game, and
I heard the midnight game was the old pagan ritual.
that's what I was reading too. And that
was the punishment one, right?
yeah,
Yeah. That
where
one
you gotta walk
actually
around the
was
house with the
super-
candle for 3 hours.
Oh, where you have to run from him, huh? Okay, so explain how the game works. For
So
our
the way,
listeners.
just to give a gist, that midnight, was this the one we got to knock on the door? I can't remember.
Like 22 times, and the 22nd knock has to be exactly at midnight.
Yeah,
There's a lot
and
of
then
rules with this.
And it has to be a wood door.
Oh, it has to be wood?
It has to be.
Ooh. I guess it makes sense. They would have had, back then. Maybe
And then
iron.
part of the game is that you're walking around the house, and if your candle blows out, you're walking around with a lit candle, and if your candle blows out, you have 10 seconds to relight the candle, or you have to like encircle yourself with salt.
The salt, dude.
And this is what the quote says: "Is if you're unsuccessful in both of your actions, the Midnight Man will create a hallucination of your greatest fear and rip out your organs one by one.
What?
You will feel it, but you will be unable to react."
When I was looking it up before, the greatest fears and ripping out your organs thing, I didn't see that at all. I just saw that like basically he was going to chase after you, and you didn't know what happened when he got you, like your mind.
Oh yeah.
Work, but that is way more terrifying.
And the game ends at like 3:35. He just goes bye-bye.
Anthony, can you do me a favor? Can you look up why salt is a deterrent for spirits?
You always see it in a lot of movies too, where they'll make like something out of salt.
Is it like a movie thing that just turned into like a...
No, I think there's actual like pagan reasons why salt is used. Maybe ghosts don't like flavor. I don't know.
Garlic salt's even more potent.
Oh.
The Himalaya stuff.
That doesn't work with the Italian ghosts, though. They're just like, more
And
Italian.
even if you survive that game, though, he's always watching you after you play it forever.
Don't say that. Well, good
I'm
thing
being serious.
We're never going to play it. I'm just saying.
I'm
Also,
not
if you
playing
do
that.
want to play it, you have to use real candles. And you can never turn off the light, and you cannot fall asleep. Those are rules.
Oh.
I just imagine if you did fall asleep, the nightmares you'd have.
I mean, I could never fall asleep by playing that game.
I mean, okay, if you're like a 70-something-year-old man, you've seen some shit, you probably could.
Yes.
You're like, this is nothing. Not as bad as that time in Nam.
I can't believe if 70-year-old is playing that game. That's wild. They're wilding out.
You got to spice up your life a little bit. Retirement's been boring, man. Hubert needs some excitement.
Be like, you know what, babe? We never played any of these games. We should play them now.
His wife. I was thinking with his grandkids,
No,
but
I was thinking his wife. Maybe his wife wants to
they're
play
getting
it.
freaky, man. What if he's the Midnight Man?
Oh, my.
That's gonna be our. Were you able to find anything?
Some of these people are replying that it's based off like religious stuff. So salt has a strong significance in a lot of different religions for millennia. I believe salt used for explicit purpose of repelling demons originates from Buddhism or Shintoism, where salt is used to purify, sanctify places and ward off evil spirits. So basically, just people are talking like
So
that.
it's just always been a thing then at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lines of scary games and stuff like that. You guys ever played any scary video games or anything like that like just truly terrified you?
Parasite Eve.
Get it, Sarah.
Parasite Eve, really?
Parasite Eve just creeps me out.
Was it just like the way like the goopy creatures were kind of?
I think so. And also, I was really young, so I feel like that type of stuff scared me.
It makes sense because like there was that opening scene in the beginning of the game where like the rat starts like mutating. That's like the first major scene
I'm
in
so
the
sorry,
movie.
but yes.
That's like one of the very first like imagery you get besides like the audience melting. Is
It's creepy when you're a kid.
The game that scared me and actually came out around that same time too was actually the original Silent Hill.
Ooh, Silent Hill is scary.
The original Silent Hill, if you played that game in the dark, would scare the living crap out of you. I remember walking around in the school and like the school like setting in the game, and you're just like walking around, and then like there's this like scene where you have to do like this puzzle in a locker room, or it was like some lockers. And I remember you hear like a knocking, and you're like, what the hell? And you open up the locker and it's empty. And then like literally as soon as you like hit over on the controller or something like that, you just hear this boom and something jumps out of a locker. It's just like a rat or something like that. I remember like it looked like I must have got like electrocuted or something like that because my controller literally just ejected out of my hand and launched across the room, and I screamed.
I love the descriptive ejected.
Ejected out of my
Because like literally I didn't know how to like it was literally just wow. And that scared the crap out of me.
It's so much more intense with games too because you're the one controlling where you're going with
exactly. And that's what I kind of love about the like genre that we're going in with like video games. And I wish there was like more horror party games. Like there's one actually that's out called like Phasmophobia or something like that.
JP and I talked about playing that.
And that's like the closest thing we've had to like a video game that's like a seance video game, because you literally got to do like ghost detecting and stuff like that. Like
That would be fun.
I wish it was like on PS5 and I could play it. Like I might be on the PS5 now, but as far as I know, I don't think it is. But like the way I've seen people play that game, I'm like, dude, that is scary. And like I've seen people actually get like genuinely scared playing that.
I recently played this Russian game. I didn't realize it was Russian until I downloaded it. And it's called September 7th. And you're walking through, you have, I don't remember the exact background behind it because it was a different language, you know? But basically you're trying to find somebody and you're in an apartment complex and you're walking around. You walk out of a room and you come back into the room and all of a sudden there's like a person that crawls across the door.
Hell no.
Or if you just walk a certain way, like you'll walk into a room, look for something, leave the room, come back, and as soon as you come back, there's a sheet in the shape of a person in the middle of the room, and then you're looking at it a little too long, and it just drops. Dude, that game. That was genuinely the most scared I have been playing a video game
ever
in my life. Like more scared than I ever was Resident Evil.
Okay, because I was gonna say, why are scary video games much more scary than like movies?
Oh, in the movies, you can close your eyes and let the scary thing happen. The video game, you have to.
You have to go. Like
You have to go.
yeah, you have to keep going. And like that's why I like the scary video games where you don't have a weapon or you don't have a way to defend yourself. Like when you got those games like Amnesia and things like that, because like you literally got to run. Like you got to run and move and avoid things. Or we should play Condemned one of these days. Not Condemned. It's one of those types of games where like you have like a camera and like to see at night you have to pull out your camera, night vision on your camera.
I will sit and watch you play the game.
I will also watch you.
Yeah, you can play it.
I have never played any of them. I just know that they are actually genuinely scary, and I would happily play those with you guys.
Sit behind him so that his controller doesn't eject into you, you know?
God, I have a question.
I've
Are
been
you
pretty
there?
God.
Yes.
Have you ever played any spooky video games?
Yeah, we watched the Slender Man documentary.
Oh.
So we did that whole thing, and then we played the Slender Man game.
Was it scary?
Yeah.
Slenderman's actually
mean,
really
I
scary.
believe it would be scary.
And I was like 18 or 19 when we were playing, dude.
Oh, shit. You're like, I'm 19 years old. I'm scared right
we
now.
had like the surround sound speakers on, so it was like really like intense with all the bass
so
and
when he
everything.
catches you, that loud, scratchy sound that happens.
So it was like three of us playing it, and we're all just like, I mean, it wasn't like terrifying scary, but
It's pretty free. Was it the middle of the night, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it was really late.
Yeah, of
It's good
course.
jump scares, and you gotta be grateful for games like Slender Man because that really rebooted the horror game genre.
Slenderman was like our generational like scary monster.
I think it made it scarier though, watching like the documentary on it first and then playing the game.
Okay, wait. Was it like a game first, or is it like
A game first.
Okay.
It was first a game. I thought it was a
Alright.
creepy pasta.
I don't know.
I don't know. We were just watching like videos on YouTube and like people, going back and talking about their experiences with it and stuff, and then we played the game.
What's the documentary called? Just Slenderman?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff on.
There's
it.
a
On
couple
YouTube,
of
there's a
them.
ton.
There's one I remember. Is that the same documentary where they talk about the girls that killed a kid?
They
like
didn't
the
kill
one I
her.
watched,
They didn't
yeah.
kill her. They stabbed her like 20 something times and she
Oh.
survived.
I remember
miraculously.
vividly. It was like out in like the street and super tall figure, and I don't know. It was
Yeah.
I know Slender has like somewhat creepypasta origins, but I don't know if that's like a chicken or the egg situation. with
I'm
that.
pretty sure he started off as a creepy pasta.
I believe it.
And then the game came after because I remember the stories coming out, and then all of a sudden the game came out. Well,
The way they set the jump scares and all that for it, especially because the sound, the jump scare it made itself was so jumpy. I don't know what the fuck the word
I feel like the image you see is not even that bad, right?
No, the damage is just like it was like
it's just uneasy for your mind to comprehend that that's following you.
it's very. I don't even think the game originally had music. It was
I
just
don't know. And it's like the suspense building up to that moment.
yeah,
too.
because all you're hearing is just.
That's actually something with jump scares in movies I really dislike a lot of the times is they'll use sounds
scream.
instead of the actual. I mean, like they'll have the ones where like the pillow hitting the face, that kind of thing. But the monster will pop out at you and scare you, or a hand will grab you, and then you just hear this really loud, obnoxious sound. And it's really not that bad, and it almost makes me feel like it's the cop out. Like we don't have something that scary, so we're going to use a sound to be that jump scare. Whereas like there's so many good movies that don't even use sounds at all, and I think that those are they're brilliantly done.
They're much more scary.
They're scary. They make you actually think about things and like wonder what's happening, and you aren't like worried about a jump scare the whole time. But a lot of haunted houses do that too. That's maybe not a new thing, but I have noticed that is when you're walking through a haunted house at like Not Scary Farm or Halloween Horror Nights, you'll walk by a section like you can't see because there's a black window there, and all of a sudden someone will jump out, the lights will flash, and a loud sound will happen at the same time. So rather than the actor scaring you, it's all the senses combined, which I think in that setting it works. But it's so overdone sometimes that we're going to go to Halloween Horror Night soon. You guys are going to see. We'll review it for you as well. But just take note of that when we go. I want you to be aware of the sounds, the lights, all of that combined. But
did you ever go to Not Scary Farm?
Yeah, I love Not Scary Farm.
I was going to say, I think even though like I love Universal and their horror nights are scary, Not Scary Farm probably scared me the most when I was 13. It's like when it was all like smoky when you walked up, and there's like those people on bungee cords that were like in the air and they'd like shoot out and come back. It scared me.
Knott's goes above and beyond, and I don't know what it is about them. Universal is really good, but theirs is very reuse the same products every year. It breaks down a little bit. It almost feels more like a job for them. Whereas Not Scary Farm, I feel like the actors genuinely love what they do. It's such a unique experience every single time. They are incredible. There was this one maze they had where they made this effect where you're like walking down into a swamp, but they had fog, and the lighting made it look like the fog was the water. So you're walking into the water, and you can't see when people jump up out of the water. It was incredible, dude. Absolutely
so
incredible.
I feel like that's what's gonna be like the Last of Us area is gonna be like that. There's gonna be a lot of fogged area,
what I'm hoping.
And you're just gonna hear a lot of.
So let's get back. So there was one more game I want to say that we haven't touched on yet, correct?
What's that?
The Crossroads one. Remember?
The Japanese game.
The Japanese game.
That one really freaked me out.
I thought that was like an interesting. The fortune telling game, right?
Yeah.
It was weird because it wasn't meant to be a scary game, but it from what I read, it was like it had like a high suicide rate because like they like took it so seriously. Like, so the premise of the game was were you blindfolded?
Yeah, you cover your face.
Like you cover your face, and then
you have to have a comb.
You had to be at a crossroads. You had to be like at a crossroads area, and then you had, I forget like if there was a chant or something like that or whatever, but
no, you needed a comb to make the noise for them to come.
Oh, the comb. Yeah, you were calling them with dragging your finger across the comb to make that sound. If there was nothing, the game was over. If there was a family member that you recognized as a spirit when you summoned it, the game was over for some reason. But it had to be a complete stranger to tell you your fortune or predict your future or whatever. If they got bad news that like their life might not turn out good, they took it very seriously, and sadly enough, they would end their lives. And it's kind of really sad when you think about it that way, that it's just supposed to be a game, but
did you see any statistics behind that or anything?
I was gonna say, can we fact check that?
Yeah, that seems a little.
It's hard to check. Like the
if I want to make my game sound scary,
I would say that too.
I read that there was, from what I read, there was like not like a super high mortality rate or anything like that, but you would read that there was actually a lot of these there were actually quite a few suicides from playing this game.
That's why I don't ever want to know my fortune. I don't care.
It's actually kind of really sad.
Let life happen the way it's supposed to happen. Really quick, why kids can play anything, you know? Kids can make up pretend games or pretend they're knights or so-and-so gossip, you know, at parties. Why is it that they tend to draw towards the supernatural?
Curiosity kills the cat.
But why that? I mean, there's so many things you can be curious about.
I think, like, as a little kid, I like to be scared. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be scared, and I know a lot of kids that want to be scared.
Yeah, it is kind of like a high you get.
Yeah,
you get
scared.
You get that adrenaline high and everything. Like, oh shit,
yes,
that was awesome.
Oh, and then when it's done, you're like, oh.
It's just every sleepover I always went to. It just you play games, and there was a certain part in the night where all of a sudden it's like, you guys want to do some Bloody Mary?
Like, absolutely.
Yeah. I know. I'm really fascinated to see in the future the kids like that are being born now what their scary games are going to be, even when we're like 60. You know what's going to be the internet sensation of the time? What is going to be the talk to me hand?
I'd say look forward to our future video for Halloween Horror Nights.
Absolutely.
Next episode we are going to review the Haunted Mansion, which I have a lot to say about it. Not all good. Not all bad.
We'll probably talk about haunted places, maybe.
With that being said, I am excited for future spooky games and other movies, and I'm excited for a sequel. So please come out with a sequel sooner than later.
Like a year.
Yeah.
New Year's a good time frame.
Absolutely.
Next
Don't
month.
make us wait
Next
anymore,
month.
though.
Don't rush it. We're excited. We can wait.
Yeah, I don't want to wait more than a year, but I will
Yeah.
wait if I have to.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon for future notifications.
Also, if you played any games or spooky games that you want to share, please let us know. We would love to know.
Love to hear about it in the comments.
If you played any ones that we did touch on as well, let us know your experience. Do you think it was a ghost? Do you think it was just all in your mind? I'm curious. Tell us.
Or any video games that scared the living crap out of you. I want to hear about that. I want to read that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
With that being said, thank you guys and have an amazing night.
We'll
Good
see
night.
we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye. I love money.